have an extra week since our last league game. Firstly, what does that look like for the group during that time?
Tough sessions. Hard work for the boys. Unfortunately, a couple of lads have been carrying niggles, and some of them have, unfortunately, are going to be out for a little period of time now. So we've obviously got Rush, will be out for a few weeks. Reece Devine and Sads will be out for the season. So it's kind of a thing that's been hampering Sads' performance for a long time. So I think he just needs to look after himself now. So yeah.
With all that in mind, the first 2 games over the Easter weekend, how are preparations going with that game at Derby of the Day earlier this week?
Yeah, listen, everyone's got the Friday, Monday, so it's going to be a difficult couple of games for us, but positive going towards it. Really excited to see how we come back and play. Hopefully the fans will turn out. Listen, they've been great so far, so really hopeful and looking forward to a positive performance.
One bit of management team news, of course, Jimmy Sean coming in. What can you tell us about that?
No, listen, we were trying to get Jimmy in for a bit to just for some help on the coaching side and having another person to bounce ideas off. I think it's really important. So to get Jimmy in, some of his experience has been fantastic and something I'm really happy about.
With this being just the 3rd home game left of this season, how important is it we end the season strong in those 3 games at home?
Yeah, we have to. Listen, it's not been a good season. We've got to be realistic with that. It's been a rubbish season and the fans haven't got what they deserve, and that's up to staff, players, everybody involved in it to look themselves in the mirror and say, what could you have done better this season? And there's a lot of soul searching to be done, I think, but it's got to be done, and it's got to be thought about logically as well. That's the thing.
How important is it the sort of mistakes and errors that are made this season are learnt and then refined for next season?
Yeah, listen, if you're making the same mistakes over and over again, you're not learning from them. So obviously that's something us as a club, staff, players, everybody around the club has got to look at themselves and see where could they do better.
What's the reaction been like from the boys? Of course, we've had a bit of a difficult run, so what's the reaction been like? How positive have they been?
Yeah, the boys have been fine. Listen, it's football. I think at times as a player you can be a bit goldfish like, where if the week probably does you good, where you forget. Listen, we've lost the last few, so we're obviously not going to be. It dented us maybe a little bit, but we're not going to be massively disappointed. I think second half against Doncaster, yeah, I forgot there. Doncaster. So the Donny game, watching it back, second half fantastic. First half not very good, and that's kind of been for a lot of the games. I think it's been that getting that, like, get out of the trap, start well. We've been kind of flat in a lull, and We've got to get to a point where we're solid for it, because at League 2 level, teams are always going to have 20 minutes where they're on top and they're getting on top of you. But you've got to, when you're dominant, you got to put the knife in and strike and be ruthless.
And with this being the sort of the 7th to last game, how important is it we sort of go for it with these last 7 games and really put in a good showing for these final few games?
Yeah, it's massively important for everyone, for myself, for like the other coaching staff, for the players. Everyone's got something to play for, so I think it's massively important that we deliver.
Looking at Notts County, what do you expect from them?
Listen, good footballing team. They're obviously on a terrible run as well, like which isn't great for them. But they got some fantastic players. They got one of the better squads in the league, and things just aren't going right for them at the minute, which can be said for ourselves as well. But listen, someone's got to win the game, so hopefully it'll be us.
Of course, they beat us at their place, and now both teams on a bit of a difficult run and looking for a response. So hopefully we're the ones that can produce that on Friday.
Yeah, I think when both teams played each other up there, I think they were top of the one where it was like 3rd against 4th. I think maybe was it. They were. I actually thought they were nailed on to be top 4 or 5. To be honest, with the squad and how they were playing, they kind of fell off a cliff since then, and so have we. So that's the realism of where we're about at.
Just a final note on us as we look to bounce back on Friday.
Yeah, just stick with us. Listen, I know it's not easy to stay positive. I know when you're not producing wins and results, but us as staff and players, we've got to try and build that positivity together with the fans.